Hi there, and welcome to another edition of Mu Epsilon Kappa Interviews. Here we have Cherami Leigh.
Nice. That's awesome.
Voice actress extraordinaire.
Oh, thank you.
How are you feeling?
I'm feeling great. I really like all your purple. It's my favorite color.
Oh yes, that's the color for our organization.
Well, I'm a big fan of your organization and its color choices.
We do our best in both color coordination and in whatever we do.
Awesome.
I don't know what we do, but apparently something big.
Something purple worthy, which is awesome.
Totally.
Yeah.
How are you enjoying AnimeFest?
It's been great. It's my second year back. Last year I wasn't able to be here as much as I wanted because I was working on another project. So they were so nice and let me come back, and I'm having a great time.
All right.
Good.
Yeah. All right. So let's roll on to the questions.
Okay.
What inspired you to become a voice actress?
Well, I started acting when I was 6, and I'm now 24, so I've been in the business a little while. And started doing voiceover work when I was 7 because I could read and I sounded like I was 4. So I get to play all of the children that were in voiceover commercials. And started doing cartoons. And I was a radio DJ for Radio Disney when I was 19, and I kind of fell into Funimation when I graduated from high school, and I was like, I need a serious job that's in the business. My safety net of high school is gone, so I was very stressed out. And then the magical gift that is Funimation fell into my lap, and I auditioned for Peach Girl. It was my first show, and they cast me in the role of the evil high school villain, Sai. And then they've just been asking me to come back and keep working, which has been very nice of them.
That sounds pretty historic, if you know what I mean. All right. Of all the characters that you voice, who would you say is your favorite?
I can't pick a favorite because I've told somebody, I'm like, it's like picking a favorite of your children. Like, you can't do that. But I will say,
you can totally do that.
No, it would be so hard. But some of my favorites are Lucy in Fairy Tale, Knee Socks in Panty and Stocking. I love Shauna in Shauna, and another good villain was Shijima in Nabari, and Patty in Soul Eater, and to think of the other, Lizzie and Black Butler. Those are the ones that I will say are favorites off the top of my head right now. And Maya and Ghost Hunt. I'm just thinking of more and they keep showing up in my head. So.
Do you actually watch the animes that you voice for?
Yeah, I mean, while I'm recording, we see the Japanese track and for every scene, and then we will do the scene. So I've seen all of the shows while I'm recording them. Some of the shows, like Shauna, I was a fan of before I found out that Funimation was going to be working on it. So I was familiar with the show, and so I knew a little bit more than I generally do. And then sometimes we'll be able to get the discs if we have a larger role in it. Funimation's generous enough to give us a copy. And there are a couple times where I'll be like, I loved this episode and I loved this scene, I want to watch it back again. So yeah, there's a couple of times where I'll watch an anime more than once because I like them or I wanted to see how the scene turned out with everybody in it.
Do you have a favorite anime?
One of my favorites would probably be Shakugan no Shana, but I do love Fairy Tale a lot, and I think Ghost Hunt is probably the one that I've seen the most of because it's a paranormal kind of show, and I think that I've made my family, that's the one that they've seen, like all of that show, so that was a cool one.
What is your usual process for when you get into a character?
It totally depends on how long I get to work on a show. I mean, there's a couple of shows where I'll play, like in Shauna, I played the title character in the show, so I've seen the show from beginning to end, so that character is a little more detailed and it'll continue to grow as I'm working on the show. And then there's sometimes where I'll go in Shijima and Nabari. I worked on that show for 2 days, And so I went in, I didn't know what I was working on, they let me see it, they told me a little bit about her, so I came up with like a character on the fly, and then I went home and I researched it a little bit more, and then I came back and I got to do it again. But sometimes you just have to make up a character right then, and based on the scenes that you have, kind of like fill in the holes as you're going. And a lot of the help and the guidance in that comes from the director, who's seen the full show and has gotten to work with all of the actors. So they're like, okay, this is kind of where we're taking this character. I'm going to guide you into this person's a little bit more nervous, and the animation also helps. I mean, I played Shunpei in Oedo Rocket, and he's a very like nervous guy. He loves math, and he has a melon head, which is my favorite, so I call him Melon Head. It's my endearing term for that lovely character. But he's like really nervous, and he kind of shakes all the time, and he has glasses. So it's like, well, he's a very anxious guy because he's shaking all the time, and he loves math, and he rambles. So obviously his thoughts aren't falling into place very well, and every time he sees girls, he like can't function. So I'm like, okay, so you put all those things together, and then you slowly but surely are able to come up with a character. And then he'll fight with his brother. So as you're doing more scenes with the character, a little bit more will start being added and that character grows. So usually by episode 24, we're like, oh, I finally have this full range character, and I want to do more, and I want to play with this whole arsenal that I've now become aware of that he has. So if we get to do a season 2, and I mean, I guess that's how it goes with life, you know. There's a lot of things that I wish I knew when I was in high school that I don't, but I've figured out now. And I'm sure when I'm like 40, there's some things I'm like, wow, you really should have known that when you were 20. I'll be watching this interview going, huh, if only you knew things that you should have handled this better or whatever. So I guess that's just how life goes. So we're living the journey with our little animated people, which is kind of cool.
All right. Are there any new projects that you would like to talk about?
Yeah, the ones that I got announced in, Shakugan no Shana, I'm not sure of the release date exactly. I know that season 1 is out, so you can watch that and get caught up, and the movie and the OVA I think are coming out in like November or December, and then we have season 2, and hopefully we get season 3, so support the OVA and the movie and season 2 so we can get season 3. And Steins Gate is a really good show, and I play Suzuha in that. And Panty and Stocking with Garter Belt is out, and I'm the villain in that show. And more Fairy Tale. I think somebody said today we got 50 more episodes, which is kind of cool. And I did a film called Beyond the Farthest Star that's been a long process, but we're finally getting close to distribution, so I think that's going to be out in theaters next year sometime. So, and I did the film that I was working on last year at this convention is an animated film with Tim Curry and Sean Astin and Russell Peters, and that's called Rivet. And I am I'm the female love interest of Sean Astin's character in that. So that was cool. So I don't know when that's coming out, but I'm sure I'll keep updates online on Twitter or Facebook, things like that.
All right. Now for another question. In your profession as a voice actress, I'm sure you've amassed a certain amount of fans. Are there any fans are there any types of fans who you particularly like and fans who you particularly dislike, you know, some rowdy ones?
No, I mean, I haven't really encountered any like crazy rowdy fans. Everybody's been really, really supportive. I was like totally blown away when somebody asked me, they're like, can I start a fan club for you? I was like, yeah, are there people that want to do that? That's so weird, but it's so flattering. So the Epic Nights of Cherami Leigh is my fan club on Facebook, and they're amazing. We just had a contest where I was like, okay, could you guys are wanting, I've had people asking me for signature cards at conventions, but do you guys want to draw the art? Because I want to see the characters you want on the cards. So they're super talented. I had like all these submissions, and I couldn't pick. So I have super, super talented, creative fans. So I had to have some of my friends and other voice actors and directors and things like that help me decide which ones that we wanted to pick. And I was only able to narrow it down to 4. They were that good. So yeah, I haven't really found any like crazy uncomfortable, scary fans, which is very nice. Thanks, guys, for not being like that.
Until now.
Until now. There's one like right outside this window. I don't know. No, everybody's been really supportive, and I really enjoy going on Facebook or looking online and checking my Facebook, and everybody's like writing all these super nice things about me. I'm like, thanks, guys. It's so nice of you. So yeah, it's pretty cool.
All right. Are there any interesting hobbies you have, like, well, just interesting ones, or some that people would consider unusual?
I collect glasses. I have no need for glasses. I've just always wanted glasses, and so I collect various frames, and I'll just randomly wear glasses, which I think a lot of people think that's weird.
Oh, do you mean like eyeglasses?
Yeah,
oh,
like
okay.
eyeglasses. Like just, frames, and whenever I like them, and I'll just randomly wear glasses. I make jewelry, and I'm like gonna start making some clothes, I guess, because I can, and or at least I would like to start doing that. And I write screenplays and things like that. I collect anything stars or purple. And I love cupcakes, so I've now started amassing some cupcake collectible things. And I really love, I guess this is kind of weird, I really love positive quotations and things like that. And so I have like just random quotes that I think are cool on my wall, as well as art from the Artist Alley, because I'm a huge art fan. So I probably am like, if you were to talk to an artist, they'd be like, yeah, the fan that I think is crazy and annoying, Cherami Leigh. She's nuts. Because I'm like, oh my gosh, this is new. And they're like, yeah, I just brought it out yesterday. And I'm like, oh my gosh, well, I just like bought everything at your table yesterday, but this wasn't here. Could I buy this now? So my walls are like floor to ceiling covered with like art. It's kind of crazy. Art and quotations. Yes.
In quotations.
In quotations, absolutely.
All right. Now, I suppose it's at this point in the interview we start to get into our more weirder questions.
Oh, uh-oh.
So far they haven't been that weird. Okay, do you play Pokemon?
I do a little bit. I'm more of a Mario Party person. But I did play the card game Pokemon a while. My boyfriend is huge into Pokemon. He's having me bring my DS back to LA so that he can buy the new Pokemon game. And I think it's funny that he's having me bring my DS back, in essence, so he can steal it.
All right, then.
Borrow, steal, but whatever.
Well, if that's the case, then what would your dream Pokemon team be?
Oh, can I create like random Pokemon that I think would be awesome?
Sure, Chris Sabat did.
Did he really?
Well, his was more interesting.
Okay.
Involving women in monkey suits, but
Gosh, that's nuts. Wow. Okay. Well, Squirtle is one of my favorites, so I would definitely pick Squirtle. Pikachu's a classic, so obviously he's gonna be in there. My whole team would be really adorable, which is probably like not the most effective way to win a match, unless you're just gonna hug them all to death, which is an effective way to play, I think. Like anything that's cute, like Jigglypuff, I think is adorable. So I'd just be like, oh, you're cute, come join my team. I don't know. But there would be a Pokemon that I wish was created, would be like a little fluffy star with a happy face. and a little cupcake bow. That's what I would like. So if anybody from Pokemon that creates these things is watching, I would really appreciate that you get on that. And if you wanted to name it a Cherami, that would be cool. It's okay. I can voice it too if you want. That would be really cool.
You heard that, Pokemon creators? Listen to her.
It would be great. It would be so cool. My boyfriend would think I was cool then. No, I'm kidding. That sounds really bad. I'm giving him a lot of crap during this interview. That's not very nice of me. Yeah.
All right. So, if you had a superpower, what would it be?
I would want the joint superpower of being able to fly and read people's minds. Scratch that. I don't know if I want to read people's minds all the time. I like hearing them say nice things. I just want to fly.
And why?
I really, this is gonna sound lame, I love swinging on the swing set, and I just love like being up in the air and being like free. So I feel like that would be, flying would be like the way to go about that. And I want wings. But I would like to be able to like retract my wings like a retractable pin, so that sometimes, because it would be hard to get dressed if you had like crazy awesome wings all the time.
All right.
Yeah.
Now, another weird question. If you were an ice cream flavor, what would you be?
Vanilla.
Oh,
Done and done.
That's pretty lame.
It's really lame. It's really lame. But vanilla is classic. And being that I'm a girl, and you know, you have to like watch your like calorie intake for whatever reason. If I'm gonna spend like the calorie intake on ice cream, vanilla is consistently amazing. So I know I will not be disappointed. And I will usually put rainbow sprinkles on there to make it beautiful. But like vanilla is classically good. Any type of vanilla, vanilla bean, you know, just the real country vanilla, any vanilla, it's always awesome. So I would totally pick vanilla with rainbow sprinkles.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I think I'm out of questions now. So.
I stumped you.
Oh, yeah. It's a shame.
I know,
but
isn't it?
this interview has to come to an end.
It does. It does sometimes.
Yeah. Well, anyway, this was a Mu Epsilon Kappa interview. Hope you enjoyed watching. This was Cherami Leigh. Good night.
Yay!
Play me off.